Hi, everyone. I'm Kim.
And I'm Jasmine, and we're the hosts of the Gravediggers podcast, Letting the Dirt Fly. And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody.
We hope your week has been absolutely fantastic because mine hasn't. So I'm going to put the energy out for everyone else.
Yeah, mine is kind of sitting in the same boat. I'm last week of finals. So next week, though, I am going to look like I've slept. I'm also going to have all of my assignments done, and I'll be officially like summer ready.
Ooh.
I know.
Summer ready. I've been summer ready for a few weeks, mentally.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Not in my actual life, but mentally I've been ready.
Mm-hmm. What's been going on with you this week?
Mental health. Not feeling good.
Yeah.
Just kind of in a funk. And then planning a last minute trip for my grandfather's funeral. I wasn't close with him, but just the dynamics of getting my mom flown in and planning an entire trip within the span of like a week.
Yeah.
It's
Not
exhausting.
only are you working full time and deciding to do a podcast, but you are also scheduling a trip where you are traveling with children in the car
For 10 hours.
10 hours
Each
one way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be rough. I've been trying to mentally prepare myself, but I don't think there's anything I can really do except for just go with the flow.
Yeah.
So cried a little bit because I was exhausted. I was just tired. So I was just laying in my bed and I just started crying. And so my husband was in the bathroom, and then my, how old is he? 4? My 4-year-old comes in and he like wraps his arm around me and starts patting me on the back. And like, yeah, it was so sweet. He didn't even say anything. And then I stopped crying, and then he left, and I hear him go to my husband down the hall, and he's like, "Mom, stop crying. She's going to be okay."
That's so cute.
It was cute. So a little mental breakdown just out of pure exhaustion. But definitely looking forward to Mother's Day weekend because it's about us this weekend.
I know my husband's like, just letting you know, I know you've been doing really good at eating right and having your diet, but please let your extended or cheat day be on Sunday because we are not good at counting macros. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's a good wording. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you let me know. I will make it that day.
So Sunday's going to be a good day.
It's going to be a good day.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
My Mother's Day plan so far, we've got my mother-in-law coming to town, who I absolutely love. My stepmom, who of course is absolutely amazing. And then, my brother-in-law and then, sister and stuff like that will be there too. It's about the moms.
Yeah.
So we're going to have brunch at the house and the rosé champagne. We're going to have mimosas and my favorite banana pancakes. They're so good. Found them on TikTok, of course.
I was like, you haven't given me this recipe.
No, I need to. Okay, so you just mush up bananas, oats. So like a half a cup of oats, a half a cup of berries, 2 bananas, a little bit of vanilla, and an egg, and you just mix it up together, and they make the most delicious pancakes. Like, I don't even want to eat regular pancakes after eating these. I don't want to go back. It's so delicious, especially with all of the bad stuff on top of it, like syrup and whipped cream. That really makes it really makes that healthy breakfast.
Like today, we made breakfast for dinner, so I just actually had pancakes for dinner.
Good,
but ours was like I've been doing where you do half of the what is it? The cheap pancake mix, and then I do half protein powder, and then I add cinnamon to it. So then it's
a little healthy. Yeah, we're gonna find ways to sneak.
They're not very fluffy though, but the kids like it more than regular pancakes. So
good. See, it's good for them too.
Yeah,
win-win. Yeah, I think. So this week we've got a different topic planned, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we don't necessarily plan but happen regardless because we have no control over absolutely anything.
And also like rolling with the punches with that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I did not roll with the punches very well.
Oh, no.
Especially when I was first, I was like, wait, we forgot the diaper bag. What are we going to do? Like, and
I have like meltdowns, and my husband was like, it's going to be okay.
Or like you go on a trip and you forget like the toothbrush and toothpaste of like every single child. And they're like, what am I going to do? And it doesn't click in your head that you could just go to the grocery store and buy a new one. Instead, you're like freaking out and usually I yell uncontrollably at everybody.
Right.
And I'm like, why can't I just remember the toothbrush and toothpaste?
Yeah. Then you take it out on everyone else because you're frustrated.
But I don't know.
Yeah. You don't always have to react poorly to unexpected situations.
Yes. And I feel like I've gotten better at it.
That's good.
Okay. So, for example, this last year we had spring break
Mm-hmm.
and you knew that I had it all set up. I was like, we're going to go mining for star garnets because star garnets can only be found in 2 places in the world, and that's India and Idaho.
Oh, we're so special.
I know. And so there are these beautiful stones that if they're cut right, then it looks like there's a star in the middle. And so I was like, okay, we're going to go get star garnets and we'll take a whole day doing it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go tubing. And then we're like, I just had all this list of things. And I first was like, oh, I should double check to see what the hours for mining are. And they're like, I called them up and I said, hey, we're coming up for spring break. Is this a good, when can we come and what hours is it? And they're like, they just started laughing at me. And I was like, and they're like, you're not from around here, are you? And I was like, well, I'm from Boise area. And they're like, oh, that's the tropical part of Idaho. Okay. And I was like, all right. And they're like, no, we're going to be at least 2 feet in snow. And I was like, oh, and they're like, we don't open up till end of May. And so I was like, that was like the main thing. My kids and husband were all so excited to do it.
You planned your trip around that activity.
Yeah, exactly. And what was it? Also, snow tubing. Then it was like the end of the season. So it was only open on weekends and we were going Monday through Friday. And so I was like, this is not working out. Like everything that we had planned was only available on weekends and we weren't going to be there up in Coeur d'Alene area during the weekend. So I was like, and I was frazzled. And then I'm driving in the car and I'm telling my husband, I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to plan. But then I have an awesome aunt and uncle and they did the works. They took us to some of the best restaurants. We went to a Mediterranean, Greek restaurant and I had the best gyro I've ever had.
Oh,
is it gyro?
Greek.
Yeah, I think that's how.
Yeah, I call it gyro.
Okay, yeah.
My husband's like, it's a gyro. And I was like, it's a gyro. And I do it and he gets upset. And I'm like, I know what it is. I just do this to upset you. So apologize for that, Pumpkin. It's never going to stop.
And then, and we went to this gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches and they were like the flaky, buttery kind that my mouth is watering, but actually they're coming down to Boise. So
what? Okay.
Okay. So then there's all this delicious food that we were doing, but then we went to this huge event center where we were doing laser tag and golfing and bowling. And we did that for a whole day. And then we went and adventured in Spokane and we got to go see the musical Wicked. And so it was all this fun stuff that it was relaxing. It wasn't just trying to go through all these events. It was more relaxing, having not really a full schedule. And it actually, I think, turned out better than it was supposed to.
Wow.
I know.
That
rarely happens.
Yeah,
but actually it was really nice.
Ever happens.
That we got a week off and it was actually a relaxing week.
I know. And the girls, when they came back, were so excited telling me about their stories and what they did. It was so cute. And I was like, I knew you would have fun.
Mm-hmm. So it was nice that I didn't let it hold me down and I was able to push through.
You didn't have a complete meltdown.
Yep.
Because I might have.
Yeah.
I usually do. And my husband's like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, nothing is gonna be okay ever again in the entirety of the universe. But when you talk about the good thing of it, I feel like my big thing about letting things go and rolling with the punches would have to be when I decided to go back to school.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, how old? I'm 28. I can never remember.
How old am I again?
26. You're right. Yeah. So 26 was when I started, and I was like, I'm going to go back to school while working full time and taking care of my 3 kids and being a wife. And I had these great expectations for it to go well. And I mean, mind you, not it's going fine, but I had no idea the amount of tired I would be constantly 24/7. There is not a day when I'm not trying to take a nap at some point if I can. And if I can't, I'm usually sleeping in and rushing out the door in the morning just because of how tired I am.
I can understand that.
So that was an experience that I've had to learn how to be better with time management and be better with like doing my homework after the kids go to sleep so I can spend time with them. But also, like, on the positive side of things, I absolutely love it. Like, at first I was like, why do I have to take all of these extra classes that aren't relevant to my degree? And then I start taking them and I realize how, like, helpful they are in helping you pursue your career, but also being just a well-rounded person.
Okay, and she is the cutest when she gets back from her classes, because then she's like, okay, you'll never guess what I learned. And then she goes into law terms that I'm just like, I have no clue what she's talking about. But she's so excited that I can't help but smile because I'm so excited that you're talking about it.
I know, it's so much fun. Like, my communications classes, for example, that was what taught me how to be a better mom, because it taught me, how to communicate with your children effectively, how to build trust with them. And then I decided to be a communications minor based off of those classes that I was taking as an elective. So, like, I come home and, I know a lot of people are like, what are you going to do with a philosophy degree? Well, I'm going into law. So it is relevant, morals, what's right and wrong, trying to help the little guy. But, it was an experience that, one, I'm tired all the time, but two, like Kim said, I get excited about the things that I'm learning. Like, I feel like I'm finally in the right place in life where I was lost for the first, 8 years after graduating high school. So I feel like I finally find my place.
Aww.
Yeah. And I wasn't expecting it to go that way. I was worried about being a philosophy major because, a lot of the stuff I was looking up on the internet was like, it's a good major, but you can't really do a lot else with it. But nowadays, my philosophy teachers are like, no, there's actually a lot you can do with it. Marketing, you can be a professor, you can go into law. Like, there's so many different avenues it can take you. Plus, I'm actually studying something that I'm interested about. And so I'm more willing to learn. Like, I love going to class, even though I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I love going to class. I'm the kid that talks too much in class and I have to like hold my tongue.
You're the Hermione Granger that like sticks her hand up
and I'm
in
like,
there and
I
like,
got this.
Pick
like,
me, please.
And the other kids are just sitting there like, well, at least someone's talking so I don't have to. But it's definitely been an experience that I never expected and could have expected in my life,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 And okay, so we're talking about these experiences and all of them are like, oh, it's a happy ending. I think we need to talk about our Thanksgiving trip.
That was not a happy ending for anyone involved.
I'm going to readjust for a second. Okay. So we decided we hate shopping for Thanksgiving.
Absolutely dread it.
Because it's busy and crazy, which we didn't really take that into consideration when we thought of this.
Not at all.
But we hate shopping for each other's, for our stuff. So we were like, why don't we do something super crappy, but we'll do it together?
Yeah.
So then it's less crappy.
Right. You got a little bit of spice in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, we decided to go
Too much
shopping,
spice.
But we were shopping with our total of 7 children. So we had 2 carts, 7 children in the grocery store. And it was like
it was Tuesday days before.
Yeah, it was like the Tuesday or Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
So
no
it
planning.
is like swamped, and there's also limited air like supplies on.
Right,
if you're
trying a labor shortage, there's nothing.
Yeah, if you're trying to look for cranberry sauce, like you better make your own because there's no way you're finding the canned stuff.
Yeah,
and so it was mayhem.
But we did get a good deal on turkeys.
We did.
What was it, like buy one get one? Or something crazy.
It was
like that?
We spent like $100 and we got one free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we both we were able to move around our groceries a little bit so that
we could get that free turkey.
I know. It was really
it was hectic. Like thinking about that day makes my head hurt. Because I mean,
don't touch this. Get away from there.
And I'm the yes mom. And it was before Kim started saying, yes more. And the girls asked me so many questions. I was like, Kim, they won't stop bothering me.
I'm like you can only ask me questions from now on. Everybody, you need to go to the bathroom. Okay, you guys go together. And then it was like, oh, hey, stop dancing in the aisle. Hey, get out of this person's way. Like it was just us shouting and yelling at each.
And that's all it was. No. Like days before Thanksgiving. And I love Thanksgiving, but God, I hate prepping for it. Like I loved it before I was hosting Thanksgiving. And now that I'm hosting, absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you have to cook everything and the kids don't listen. And then you have to prepare things. I think I'm just complaining about being a parent, but that sucks too sometimes. So
yeah.
No offense, kids. I love you. But God, am I going to be tired for the next 20 years.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. It was a good experience because now we realize that if we do go Thanksgiving shopping, we're going to go without children.
Or grocery pickup and then pretend that we're going grocery shopping and ditch the kids. Mm-hmm.
That's a
Go
really
get ice cream.
I mean, babe, that is not what we're doing.
Yeah. Not at all. We don't do stuff like that.
No. Okay. And I think you need to go into your Christmas story.
rolls around.
Yeah.
And I am a huge fan of Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. And so that's like the show we watch every single year. And so normally when we buy our Christmas tree, we buy them from like a Christmas tree farm or Lowe's or wherever. And this year I was like, you know what? We're going to have a Griswold family vacation. We are going to go up to the mountains. We're going to chop down our own tree.
We still haven't watched the movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it. Kimberly here has not seen the most classic of the classic Christmas movies. I don't know who you are, even if you come from like a wholesome ass family, like you have to watch the show. They swear a lot and there's a lot of sexual innuendos, but it's great. So part of the show is, they're going out to chop their own Christmas tree, chaos ensues. And I was like, it's all TV. Things like that don't actually happen. So we go out there and my husband and I, we don't actually know like what road to take. We're told to go up to this one area. So we passed this one road and I was like, I think that's the road we were supposed to take. And so then we didn't take it and we keep going and we find this spot my husband had picked out. And I was like, I don't think this is it. All the trees look super skinny and super skimpy. And he's like, no, let's just go hiking. So we go on this hike through the woods. There was like a little bit of snow on the crowd. And the kids were having an absolute blast. Like they were having so much fun. And I wasn't going to go home with a skimpy ass tree. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like I came out here for my picture perfect Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And so at the end of it, I was feeling super defeated and frustrated. And the kids were like, when are we going to come back here and do this again? And I was like, in my mind, I was like, we didn't even get a Christmas tree, but they were so stoked about the hike.
We have one thing to do on this trip, and that's to get a Christmas tree, and we didn't get it.
And we didn't get it. And, on the way up, I was seeing all these other cars with like these full trees on the top of their roof. So on our way down, I look over and I see the road that I told my husband to take. And I was like, maybe we should have taken that road. And he's just like so annoyed at that point. So we go back home, go to Lowe's, pick out our Christmas tree. And we got like an experience out of it that the kids they saw it in such a different way than I did. Like I was frustrated I didn't get my picture perfect Pinterest Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. And the kids are like, when are we going to come back hiking up in the snow? This is so much fun.
I love that.
Like they're so cute. They love being outdoors. We went on a hike the other week and my middle was like, this is the best day ever. And I was like, like, okay. But I think at the end of the day, like we already talked about, that wanting to be that picture perfect. And I had to let some of that go and just realize that the kids were just in it for the adventure. And maybe I should be too.
Yeah.
A little bit of adventures.
I love that.
But on the flip side of things,
no.
I need pictures. First of all, we're going to need to post pictures alongside this video. If you've
this
got
is
them.
Bad because I have multiple pictures because I made the bad decision multiple times.
Multiple times.
I know.
The first time wasn't enough for you?
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about perms. Because I think that it's a good idea to get a perm randomly and it always turns out bad. It does not look good on me. And so I have like, if you see me, I think it's like 6th or 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And I have this picture of me like jumping up in the air and my hair's in a triangle because it's like permed. And so I'm like this, and the triangle, we'll have to, I do not want to post that, but I will do it just for everybody's enjoyment. So then I did it a couple other times throughout my life, but the worst one was I decided when I was pregnant to make a decision on what I should do with my hair. Mm-hmm. And so I got it permed and it was okay. And then I was in a hair show and I said, you can do whatever you want to my hair. I did not realize that they were going to cut it like earlobe height. And so I had permed earlobe sides.
Oh,
so it was like,
like, unless you've got like that really short, cute, like Halle Berry type of style cut, like that's not going to work.
No. So I looked like the cartoon girl version of Hey Arnold. Where he has like the triangle head.
I can just picture
or not
now.
The triangle head. It's like the football head.
Shape, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what my hair looked like. And to this day, I have not rolled with the punches on that one. I still look at it and I go, what was I thinking? And I was like, now I do not make hair decisions with when I'm pregnant. I also don't make hair decisions without thinking about it for like 2 to 3 months.
Good.
And I have to get Travis's approval, which is my husband. So he understands that I do like change, but he will make sure that I don't do something drastic.
That's good because you just kind of pop all over the place, like pop, pop, pop. You're like, I have a good reference, but I can't think of it. Like, anyway, I'll get you later.
But there's a phrase I like to use, jack of all trades, master of none. Because I just do all these different things, but I'm not really a master at any of them, including deciding on what my hair should look like.
Yeah, but that's okay. None of us are.
Yeah.
Now, I've got one more for you today.
Oh, I want to hear this.
I thought of it just as we were sitting here. So it was my middle's 5th birthday. And so it was her first one where we were like inviting her friends from school. So Idaho weather is always unpredictable. Ugh. But I was like, it's like the first weekend of May, or maybe it was the last weekend of April that we did it. And I had ordered like a jump house for her. And so I had promised her this jump house. We were super stoked. And then it started raining. And I was like, whatever, a little bit of rain won't drag out our party. And then the wind picked up to like 20 miles per hour. And things were out of control. And so she was like
it's like a hurricane.
Yeah, she's like, and I was like, we're going to figure this out. So I was like going to pick up Jimmy John's like in the rain where it was like you had to have them on the highest setting wiper blades and it wasn't even enough. And so I was calling like all of the kid places in town. It was a Saturday. Everyone was absolutely booked. And so I finally found this one that would take us like last minute. And I was like, okay. So we gather all of our stuff. Like, I'm like, husband, like just meet us there. We're gonna go. And like, it ended up being her favorite party. Like she had so much fun. A couple of her little friends came, but definitely not planning any more outdoor parties anytime before June, just because Idaho is way too unpredictable for that. And I'm not looking for any more stressful situations.
It's kind of like you learned from that one.
I did. That was a good learning moment. Yeah. Like, and I've grown up in Idaho. I was born and raised here. So you'd think I would have thought that over, but you know, I was feeling overzealous.
We always hope.
Yeah. Hope is something that, you know, you should never stop having.
For anyone that doesn't know Idaho weather, I have had one day where it was raining in the morning and then it was sunny, as in people were wearing shorts like 65, 70 degrees. Mm-hmm. And then it started snowing when it got dark. And so it was 3 different major weather storms all in one day. And so it is constant of like,
and that's not new here.
I wore shorts and now it's snowing, or
it was snowing and now I'm wearing shorts. Mm-hmm. I love those days. Oh, it's always a good turnaround.
Yeah. So,
but when it comes to Idaho weather, we actually got a earthquake like last year.
Oh yeah.
And so I know this is completely irrelevant, but who cares? I was in my living room and I saw like my furniture and stuff have a little shake. And I was like, but it was crazy windy outside. Like we have windstorms where a trampoline will literally be blown from one neighbor's yard to another. Yeah. So I wasn't surprised. And then I get on Nextdoor or one of those like neighborhood apps. And I was like, did anybody else feel that shake? What was it? And all the Californians that are moving here are like, have you never felt an earthquake? And I was like, no, I'm from Idaho. I've never felt an earthquake before. Like, calm down. So we have had everything from 3 seasons in one day to a mini earthquake. You know, you gotta roll with the punches.
You do. You do.
We just came full circle there. Did you guys see that?
That was good.
Great. Okay, I didn't even plan it.
I know. That was smooth.
That was smooth. Ooh, I'm feeling real good right now. I'll do my little Sharpay. Well, that leads us right into our wrap up here. I do want to mention that we haven't gotten any stories from you guys yet, so please don't forget to email us your questions, your stories, or any story requests that you have, because again, this Wow, I was like totally gonna nail my ending that I had created.
No, you're still nailing it. You're still nailing it. Yeah, it's good.
This podcast is a conversation, and this conversation needs you. What do you think about that?
I think you just hit on like a lot of people right there.
A lot of different levels.
Your husband's going to think a little bit.
He's going to really like me more.
Yeah.
Or maybe the opposite.
Well, before things get a little too crazy, we'll just catch you guys later. Thank you for listening to the Gravediggers podcast.
We are your best friends, Jasmine
and Kim.
Please subscribe and find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at gravediggers.j as in Jasmine,
K as in Kim.
And look for us on Patreon, where we give exclusive content, seasonal gifts, and early access to those that help us provide this content.
Till next time, don't be afraid to dig in the mud
and get a little dirty.